All right. So welcome everyone. Last recording for the year. We're going to start in a seated position. So find a comfortable spot to sit. I'm going to move my tea out of the way. And then we're just going to focus today on a little bit of ab work and some mobility stuff as well. So just take your hands on your knees, and we're just going to start by taking a few breaths in and out. So taking a deep breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And just relax the shoulders. You can close your eyes or you can keep them open. It doesn't matter, but I want you to focus on feeling the rib cage as you inhale. It's expanding out to the side, and then as you exhale, it's closing back together. So taking that breath, expanding the ribs, and bringing them back together. And then the whole time you're just keeping this upper shoulder relaxed. So we're going to continue the breathing, and as we continue, we're going to start to set up our posture. So all I want you to do with your hands on your ribs, and then face the side of this one. We're just going to take hands on our hands, hands on ribs, hands on knees. Inhale, and we're just going to round the upper back, lean back a little, and then as you exhale, you're going to pull up and you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. You're going to inhale, round, and then exhale to squeeze shoulders. So just really work on squeezing, pull, create some resistance so that we get a little bit of strength through the shoulders as we warm up. But then when you're ready, find halfway. So shoulders are back, they're down, and then we're nice and tall and straight through our back. We're going to tuck our chin and just get a nice long neck as well. And then this time we're going to go from the pelvis. So as we inhale, we're going to tilt our pubic bone to our belly button. So the upper back stays tall. We're going to tilt pubic bone to belly button. So really use your abdominals to do that. And then as you, I think I said exhale on that one. Inhale, you're going to go back. So exhaling, tilting pubic bone to belly button, really trying to pull up with those abdominals, keeping the shoulders back, and then inhale to tilt back as far as you can. You might need to adjust seated position a little bit and just feel yourself move through the bones of the hips. So you'll feel yourself sitting up tall right on your sit bones, and as you sink back, you'll feel yourself rock back more to your tailbone. So when we sit in Pilates, we want to sit tall and we want to sit on those sit bones. So again, find halfway between those 2 points. We're sitting tall on those sit bones, and we want good posture when we start to activate our core, because our core won't activate if our posture is not in that good alignment. So we're up tall. We're just going to take that deep breath in, and as you exhale, I want you to engage your pelvic floor and lift your pelvic floor up and away from your mat. Hold it as high as you can, and then let it relax. So nothing else on the body moves. The pelvic floor attaches between your pubic bone and your tailbone. You're lifting, holding, and then releasing. So we lift, hold, and then relax. You don't want to hold our breath. As we lift and hold now, if you take your index fingers and place them on the inside of the front of your hip bones, as we lift our pelvic floor, we want to gently engage across our transverse abdominis. So gently engaging across the transverse. So we're pulling in about 20%, holding and then relaxing. And then once we've got that activating together, there's muscles between our two sit bones. So where you're sitting, I want you to gently engage pelvic floor, gently squeeze the muscles at the back of the hips, not your glutes, but the muscles between your two sit bones, as if you need to break wind, but you don't want to squeeze your whole bottom. And then engage transverse as well. So you're lifting pelvic floor, holding transverse, then gently squeezing at the back. If you can sort of think about trying to draw your hip bones together at the front and at the back, and then trying to lift everything up and away. That's the analogy that I like to use. Some people like to think about an elevator lifting up and lowering down. So do whatever works for you and use whatever analogy just works. Doesn't matter. So from here, we're going to start to go into some mobility. You can hold your pelvic floor. You don't need to hold your core on the whole time. It should activate normally, but I'll give you a reminder if we do any exercises that are going to be quite heavy through our abdominals. So we're just going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to take opposite hand to the knee. And then as you exhale, just try and rotate as far as you can back. And then inhale to the other side. So inhale, exhale, hold and rotate. And then inhale to change. So just starting to get some movement through our spine. Each time you go, you just want to try and get a little bit more movement. As we rotate, really make sure that we're growing tall and we're lengthening through that spine. So we want to create space between each vertebrae, because if we sink and we're rotating, we're grinding on our vertebrae. So create space for those discs to move. We're going to take one more to each side. And then coming back to the front. So we're going to take across to our left knee first. And as we exhale, you're just going to walk out as far as you can. Try to keep the hips on your mat. Go as far as you can. Try and get your head to your knee if you can do it. But really try and press your right hip down to your mat. So you get a nice stretch down your back. We're going to hold for a couple of breaths. One more breath. Then walk it back up. Take it across to the right. So right knee, walking it out as far as you can and really trying to press that left hip back into the floor. Once you get as far as you can, start to breathe and relax. Deep breath in and out. One more deep breath. And then walking back up. We're going to take the legs out. So seated position still. Knees are bent. Legs are out. So we're in that neutral sort of spine. Sitting up nice and tall. If you want to, you can take your hands under your knees for this. Otherwise, you can have them on top, or you can be reaching out, whatever feels most comfortable for you. I like to have my hands out, but you do what feels better. So as we inhale, we're going to round the spine. So sink the pelvis, round the upper back. As we exhale, we're going to go back. We're going to inhale to hold, and then we're going to exhale to sit up. And when we come back, we sit up, and we sit up nice and tall. So we inhale to round, exhale, go back. Relax the shoulders. Inhale to hold, and then exhale to sit up tall. So keep going. Inhale to round, exhale to go back. As we do this, pelvic floor activation if you need it. Pelvic floor activates on the back movement and holds as we come back up. We're going to do a few variations at this in this position, and I know it gets a lot on the hip flexors, so we're going to do one, then we'll take a break, then we'll come back. So coming back with your left leg, you're going to lift the knee, so you're going to exhale to lift, inhale to lower. So exhale to lift, inhale to lower, and we're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, trying to stay nice and strong, shoulders relaxed. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit up nice and tall when you're ready. So from here, we're going to take the legs nice and wide, or as wide as you feel comfortable. And we're just going to take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to reach to your opposite toe. So you can reach to your big toe. So if you're feeling a little bit restricted, do big toe first, and then as you get a little looser, go to the little toe. So as you get a little bit looser, you can go to that outside, to that little toe, and reach a little bit further. Try and grow between the movements. So lift up tall as you turn. So again, we're creating space between those vertebrae. We're going to reach and we're going to hold. So really flex the foot. You can grab to the outside or you can grab the big toe. Try and press behind and just breathe. A couple of breaths. And back to the other side. As I've said, we've got that back work with the back work. We've got abdominal work today with some mobility mixed in. So hopefully by the end, the abs will be screaming. So back to position. So same thing, we're going to start again. We're going to come rounded. We're going to sit back. We're going to hold, and then we're going to sit up. So round, sit back. We're only going to do a couple here just to remind you, and then sitting up nice and tall. So one more. Come back and hold. Relax the shoulders. Right leg this time. Exhaling to lift. Inhaling to lower. So exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And we're here for 8, 7. Try and keep that scoop belly. 6. Try and pull belly button in as well. 5, 4, 3. That hip flex has given me some grief. 2, 1. Coming up, just taking hands over toes, bent knees. You're just going to press forward. Exhale. Inhale, relax. So exhale, press forward. Round your upper back. Inhale to relax. Just enjoy a little stretch. And then coming back to that position. We're going to come into a rotation now. So you're going to sit back. So you're going to same breath in, round, exhale, come back. Inhale, you're going to turn to the side. You're going to exhale to come back and then sit up tall. So it's last exhale is going to be nice and long. So inhale to round, exhale, go back, inhale, and then exhale forward and sit up. So long, slow breath. We want to make sure that the breath is smooth. So make it smooth. And hopefully those hip flexors are hanging in there. If you want to add on, as we rotate, you can lift the same leg. So the way that we're rotating, you can lift that same leg if you want to. Up to you, if that's what you want to do. We're going to come to the right and we're going to come across and we're going to pulse for 10. So we're here and we're going to do little pulses. So you can lift that right leg. We're here for 10, 9, short breaths, 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Quick rest before we do the left side. So take a breath. Come back to position. Round. Come back. Rotate. Left leg lifts. And we're rotating across. And again, we're here for 10. Remember the breath. Short and sharp. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Straighten the legs. Take the hands behind. So fingertips point away. And here, we're just going to start. You're just going to press chest up as you exhale. Inhale. Back to neutral. So exhaling, lift. Inhaling, neutral. So this is level 1. You can stay here if you want to stay here. Level 2, we're just going to bend the knees. It's going to be a little bit easier. I have short arms, so all of these can be a little bit tricky for me. So as we exhale, coming up, inhale down. So this is level 2. Exhaling to lift. Inhaling to lower. When you get to the top of that movement, pull the belly in. It might be a little bit on the elbows, so just go with whatever level works for you. Level 3, if you can, let's hope that I can today. Level 3, legs are straight, hips come up. And then we come down. So dig the heels into your mat, lifting up, lowering down. But we're really extending up through the chest. 2 more. Last one. And then come down, reset. Last set here. Now, if you liked the level 1 version, which was just going back and coming forward, then stay with that. Otherwise, from here, we're going to come back, level 2 or level 3 or whatever we're up to. Coming back, arms come up as you inhale, and then you exhale, squeeze shoulder blades together, sit up nice and tall. So inhale, round, exhale, sit, inhale, arms up, exhale, come up. This is our last variation here. So if the hip flexors are really starting to get you, just bear with me. So 2 more. Really use those abdominals to come up. I'm going to take 1 more back. An option, you're going to hold the arms out in front and you're going to pulse. Otherwise, you're going to go longer lever and we're going to pulse here. So they're going to be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up tall, and then just relax. We're going to come over onto our knees. So onto our knees, hands and knees, and option 1, you're going to be here. Actually, we're all going to be here. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to take left leg out in front. We're going to really stretch those hip flexors because we've just worked them really hard. So tuck the pelvis under, tilt that pubic bone to your belly button. As we exhale, we're just coming forward. And then as we inhale, press into that front heel to come back. So you're going to get a little bit of strength through your quads as you come back, but the stretch is happening through that hip flexor. So exhaling to come forward, inhaling to press back. Now, a common sort of, not mistake, but a common thing that people do when they do this stretch is they let that pelvis sink back and they arch that lower back. And whilst you'll still get a stretch, the better stretch happens when we try and really keep that lower back nice and flat. You're not going to get as far, and that's okay, but you're going to get a deeper stretch. So go with that. If you are on hardwood floor and not carpet, you might want to place a pillow underneath your knee if your mat's not super thick. So feel free to do that. So coming up, as you exhale, you're going to reach arms up, and then as you inhale, you're just going to come back. So exhale, arms lift. Inhale back. So really pulling up as high as you can through your abs. So making that length through here. So we're going to come forward now. So you're going to come over that front leg. And we're going to sink a bit further forward. So you can take that back knee back a little bit more if you want to. We're over, so you can stay here. This is sort of option 1. We're going to be here, and you can open up. So you can open up as you exhale. Inhale to come down. Exhale, open up. Inhale to come down. So option 1 here, you can stay. Option 2, you're going to extend that back leg up. So as you exhale, you're going to lift up. Inhale, lower down. So if you're wanting something a little bit different, you can come here. And then option 3, you're going to stay, and then you're going to rotate from here. So you can still come down. So you can lift and then open and then come back down. It's up to you. You want to be feeling the stretch. You'll feel the stretch through that front hip, but you'll also feel that stretch through the back hip as well. So I think it's good to get some hip stretches in every now and then. 2 more. Last one. And then just come back to child's pose. Take the knees nice and wide. And then sit back. Try and arch your lower back a little bit so that you get a deeper stretch through your adductors, so through your inner thighs. If you can arch your back, you're going to feel the stretch more. You can stay on elbows if it's easier, or you can lengthen all the way out. Whatever feels better for you. I like to be on my elbows and I like to come forward a little bit, and then I really like to try and arch my lower back. That helps really deepen the stretch for me, but do what works for you. If that's having arms extended and then coming forward, do that. Or sit back more if you feel the stretch more when you sit back. But I guarantee you, if you're trying to tilt your pelvis and tilt your pubic bone up to your ceiling, it's really going to deepen that stretch. All right, let's come up. Let's take right leg forward this time. So right leg is forward, left leg is back. Let's tuck that pelvis under. So tucking pelvis and then coming forward as we exhale. Inhale to come back. And just notice, is one side tighter? Can you get a little bit further on one side than the other? I'm feeling that my left is a little bit more restricted. So obviously I need to do a bit more work on my left to loosen it up. And you can do that. So if you really do have one side that's a lot tighter than the other side, just spend a bit more time, or every day, make sure that you stretch that side to get it to loosen up. Might need a cushion under this knee in a minute. My hardwood floors get me sometimes. So as we do this, we're coming forward. So arms forward, exhale, reach up. Don't forget on that inhale to press back with that right heel. So exhaling, coming forward, inhaling, coming back. Just going to grab, I can feel. This isn't going to do much, but it's just going to get on that point of that knee. So you might only need like a tiny little thing to pop under your knee. Whatever might work for you. Got Lachlan tap. That's better. Coming up. So hopefully that's really starting to release and relax. And then we can take that right foot a little bit further forward, hands either side, and just come into the stretch. So sort of release up the back leg, really take that weight over the front leg. Just feel the stretch through that hip. Then when you're ready, you open up. So opening up, exhale, rotate, inhale, coming down. Again, notice like the movement, if it's restricted on one side, it doesn't matter if you don't lift and rotate all the way up. If you're more comfortable just hanging out here in this stretch, like if you're just feeling like this right hip is so tight, then you can stay here. Otherwise, you can do the rotation. And then remember, we've got option 2, which is lifting that knee, lowering down. If you are tight through the hip, this is a good one. But it might be too much. So just feel it, feel the movement. If it's too much and you find that you're holding your breath, take it back into something where you can breathe. So we never want to hold our breath when we're doing anything with mobility, because holding breath is holding tension. And if we're holding our breath, the brain and the muscles aren't communicating to relax. So we never want to hold our breath while we stretch, because it's just sending the wrong signal from the brain to the muscle. So always be sure that you're breathing as we do this. All right, when we're ready, let's come to a seated position. So back to seated. We'll just finish with a little bit of neck mobility. So sitting nice and tall, tuck the chin, and just take the head around. So inhaling to take one circle, and then exhaling the next. Go back the other way. So just enjoy the movement. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed down away from the ears. And then keep the shoulders down. Tuck the chin. tilt the head to the side. Now, if you sort of can, hook your hand under your hip and pull up, then that's good. Tilt the head, you'll get a deeper stretch by doing that, because you'll be able to pull down and away. So you'll be able to create more length through that shoulder. And then turning the head to the side, take the hand behind, drop down. So stretching more the back of the neck. So just enjoy these last few minutes to yourself if you don't have your kids around, or if you don't have kids, that's good too. Tilt the head to the side, take the hand. Remember, you can hook under. Forget how nice it is to not have the kids like in your face to do this. It's quite nice. Turn the head to the side, take the hand behind. But if you do have kids climbing all over you, then at least you did something today, and hopefully you feel better for it. And sometimes it gives you a good laugh to have them jumping all over you. And then take both hands behind, tuck the chin, so press the head back into your hands, and then drop down around the spine. And then just sitting up nice and tall, give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. That is us done for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you feel good. And I will see you next time.